often we've been asked this question, well, what's wrong with the Liberal Party? You know, you've got these great views, you've had these great people, but we don't seem to have them today. And invariably the question comes back, well, are you a member? You know, because you can have a say in who represents you if you're a member of the Liberal Party. And more often than not, I remember having this discussion with Tony Abbott and Tom Switzer in Sydney at the CIS, and Tony would say, well, are you a member? And they'd say, oh, I left because I got sick of the party. And he said, well, how are we going to change the party if you go and leave? If good people give up, well, then all they do is they hand the reins of the organisation to the bad people who are left. So you're not going to get rid of the bad ones if all the good ones go. And again, to that point, I agree completely. We need a lot more people to come back to join the party and then turn up at the pre-selections, hold those members of parliament accountable that they don't like. All those ones, for instance, who stood up and said, no, we're in favour of the voice, which I can't find a Liberal reason you could actually ever advocate for unequal citizenship, i.e. the voice. So the best thing now is to turn up at the next branch meeting, the next electorate meeting, and say, well, how did you do that? Why did you do that? You know, your own constituents, your members, you don't choose to represent us, you don't choose to represent your constituents. So what was the purpose of you going off on this vanity project like Prime Minister Albanese did? And then if they don't like the answer, well, you know what? Find somebody to stand against them at pre-selection. I think far too many of our members of parliament have just become careerists and weather vanes, and they just blow in the wind with the trendy commentariat. They don't want to fall out of favour with their favoured journalists or favoured news outlet or whatever it is to get their little piece along from time to time. And they're very comfortable, David. It's become very comfortable for people now to have a professional career as a staffer, come advisor, come consultant, come member of parliament, and then go the other way if needs be, and all stay part of that little closed circle. And that's the problem. We need a much broader representation, not just of members in the party, but members of the party in parliament. So I'm all in favour of renewal and bringing in a much broader representation if we want to be truly a broad church.